massive sell is what we are expecting for distribution, and a massive buy is what we are expecting for accumulation. It's just the phases at which the market moves, and using our strategy, week of strategy, knowing these phases, identifying these positions, and be able to have our entry and making our profit out of the market. As I said earlier on, this is a phase at which early sellers are being stopped out, and the market will still go for a massive sell. Now, looking at this market, our second confirmation checked. Now, the next confirmation we have is what? Point of supply. When we talk about supply, that means a point at which the sell was triggered. Now look at this point, guys. You can see this wick here like a sword. You can see that the sell was triggered. This is a confirmation for a sell. Okay. So that's our point of supply, which the sell was triggered and was like, I think this option has been stopped and cancelled. So this is our point of supply, which was triggered. And looking at before this phase, looking before, okay, the chart is not allowing me to move, but look, okay, I just have okay, looking at this point, you you can see that this is a resistance zone. So our third confirmation is what? A point of supply, which the supply was triggered and the market came for a what? Came for a sell before moving up. So our fourth confirmation is what? The buying climber, the peak at which our buying spree stopped. Let's say the peak of the uptrend. Look at this point, the buying climax. During accumulation, what we had was the selling climax. The trend before the consolidating market was a downtrend. So here is it. There, that's where our buying climax is. So the next confirmation we have for a week of trading strategy is what? The automatic reaction, where the market tried to like activate that sell. The massive buy has been deactivated. Good. Sellers are in the market now. So we are told as a trader, sell to buy. Now this is a trend. We had our confirmations already that this market is coming down. The sell has been activated. It's time for buy sellers to come in the market. And looking at this engulfing pattern, hope you guys know what an engulfing buy is. Hope you guys know what an engulfing buy is. This red buy here, this large buy here, engulfing pattern. And if you are good with your candlestick patterns, you know that this is a massive sell for you. So I just show you what an engulfing pattern is, and that means the sell has been activated. Time for us to sell as a trader. You sold. Good. You had entries at different points to sell. You're in profits. TP1 smash, move for break even, and right there, right at that point in time, the market went up back. So what we have here was what? An automatic reaction at this point in time. So we had an automatic reaction point at which that sell was triggered after our buying climax and was moving down to an automatic reaction point, in which like gave us the ideology that this trend is going to be continued. That uptrend has not disturbed. Buyers are still in for this market. Now let's look at this chart wall. You made the entry at the top of this trend. Let's say you made a confirmation when this pattern, this candlestick formed here, and this engulfing pattern was at its forming stage. You made your entry there, very good, you are in profit. And then the next thing you had was what? A CP zone, and the next support. and you had your TPs, other positions. Let's just go with our TP1 because that is where once our once price hits our TP1, even as brokers they know that once price hits our TP1, we move for break even because we know forex is a very risky stuff and we try to manage our risk properly. So the chart hits TP1, you move for break even, and then they activated that buy again. The buyers came into the market and ooh, almost moving up, moving up, moving up. Oh no, you have your confirmation. Looking at below here, we had a confirmation. This candlestick pattern also give us confirmation that this market is going to be going up back. Just have to see the trade. Depending on lot size you made some profits. Okay, good. I just made some profit from here card. Or let's say you are hoping that the market will continue to go or activate a downtrend, but institutions will try their best to set up early buyers. Now look at this position. Let's say you held. Let me show you where they just trade your stop loss and stop you out. See the way they can't send you off the market. Let's say you now place your stop loss at this point in time. Just look at it. You made your stop loss at this point in time and you had your profit at this point in time. TP1 smash, either take partial profit or leave it to run. Now the market started to move. You either move for a break even or still expecting the market to form that downtrend because you are expecting, you have your confirmations, you have your engulfing pattern, you have a lot of confirmations, support zones, resistance zones, and so that this market is bound to come down. This market is bound to fall, bound to fall. So the market activated, brokers activated that this market was sending off early sellers so that they not be able to catch our massive movement because to make it's they buy as they buy to sell, they sell to buy. You cannot hold a lot of um stocks in their hand. They have to release some, they have to share out some, they have to release some, and they have to hold in some to make everything stable and stable in the economy. Now we have that the buy was activated, you stopped out, emotions bound setting, you leave euro card as a long position trader, you leave euro card and went for other pairs. Market came down. Now first that was like part of analyzing as a trader. Another analysis for a trader, let's say even you are not in the for the sell. Let's say the sell, I told you, let's say your entry point was, let me change this green line. Let's say your entry point was the green line as a particular trader. Let's trader A had his entry point at this green line and was stopped out, later on was stopped out. Let's say as trader B you're able to come into euro card at the point at which you're able to see this euro card hitting this line again. Look at this line here, guys. Price hit this line, came up, hit this line. As a trader you have that this is an activated trade line. This is a strong zone of support that this market, once it hits, does not have any option but to bounce back up. And unfortunately for you, you were able to see, your big guys can see weak here that is this line at here. Unfortunately for you, you were able to like make this a massive entry. You saw the market hit this and made that movement up. Like the market is going up, guys. This is a trend line, a new trend line that market is massively following. And you made your entry at some point here or here or here. You are moving in profit, moving in profit. The next thing, the next bar was formed, was like coming down. Like you just know that it will on the forming stage. You just know that it will form and it will see us like go back. You had your stop loss at this point in time. You had your stop loss here. You had your take profits here, and so forth. Then the market was just coming like and stopped out. Trader B stopped out. What's wrong with market? The market is consolidating. As a trader, we are told not to trade on what a consolidating market. But go for that pair that's just going on a downtrend and take your entry there. Why you are being sent out of this massive sellout? So trader A stopped out, trader B stopped out. Oh, very bad. Trader C made his entry using support and resistance zone. Look at line below. Trader C made the entry point at this green line. Wow. Take profit one, take profit one, take profit one at the blue line, and take profit two at the red line. Good, massive one for you. Made the entry and add your stop loss below here, guys. Below here, or let's say here. Yes, I'm busy. So market came below this point in time, and you made an entry at this green line, and market was going to one small. Either you break even or still leave your stop loss at point. But being a risk-free trader, you have to just break even, and you break even. TP1 market move down. As an impatient trader, you either exit the trade or exit the trade with little or no profit at all. Now, after you made that no loss, trader C no loss, exit the trade, went to another market. Oh, bad one for you there. Now, trader, now you just and most like 90% of traders that will be focusing on euro cards at that point in time would have been stopped out. Every trader looking at euro card at that point, and even knowing that euro card is not that is not major pairs that traders do focus on. So 90% of the traders that do trade euro card will have been stopped out, and out of either emotionally or in loss. So they have taken out most of the traders on euro card for that massive movement. Now another confirmation for euro card is what? The secondary test, guys, where price moves. You know, this is our area of buying climax where our buying spree stopped. So we now have another secondary test, ST, where price will test that zone again. Let's say you sold at that buying climax zone, moving in profit, bam, break even or even stopped out. So and I just like analyze the way they try to trade our stop loss, the way they try to send out trader A, trader B, and trader C. So I don't need to like just recap on that. I don't need to go on that again. So you just know what brought about our secondary test. Now we have our secondary test, which is very good. The next one we have is our sign of weaknesses, which is what we have here. Sign of weakness is that this market is weak. That the market cannot just climb. This market can't just make it up. Can't just. I'm tired. I've been climbing. I've been climbing from this point in time. Just just the market have been climbing from this point at 1.54228 and made a rally out to 1.5608, and oh, I'm tired. I'm very tired. Sign of weakness, and that's another confirmation that, guys, it's time for us to sell. But when is this sell going to be activated? Is this market actually going for a sell? We looking at this little trend line we have here. When we discover that this market, I don't think this market is going to go for a sell. Another buy trend line has been activated. I've seen stuff that who is wrong with market? This market is consolidating. I've been warned. Oh, I've been told not to trade on this kind of market. I have to just leave this market. I see this market go for another pair. You want to have pair, let's say as trader D, You went out of the pair after being stopped out numerous times. So sign of weakness has been shown here. That's massive sign of weakness. Or let's say you are a long position trader. I'm showing you another level. As a long position trader, you made a sniper entry there, and you are very sure that this market is going to come down. Very sure. Very sure, massively sure that this market is coming down. Very sure that this market is coming down. And you move your stop loss to this point that I will hold this till this market should fall. I hold this market till it fall. You move your stop loss there. Your entry at this green line. Your entry at this green line. Take profits at the green line below, and you had your take profits. Your entry point at this green line at the middle, and your take profits at the green line below. Okay, massive. You are still holding that this market is putting me in profit, putting me in loss as trader E. As trader E, you are still holding that this market is going to fall. I'm very sure. You put your stop loss. The stop loss is you either you are in profit, moving in profit. You made sniper entry at this green line. You are either in profit or little profit. No loss at all. No loss at all. Then they make that massive move, which we call the ETAD test. Make that massive move and massively send off strong and persistent traders that are ready to hold a position for as long as 2 months, 3 months. Long time investors, send them out. ETAD test when the uptrust begin, and you just like, buyers are in this market. Not, I don't know what to do. This market is going to massively going to go up, and there's nothing I can do about that. Look at this here, guys. Just draw that trend line. Yeah, see this. You made that trend line. I just say trader G. You drew that trend line. I just draw now, and you mark out this position. These positions as breakout, as in when that trend line was broken off. I hope you guys can see this breakout here, broken off, like breakout. You see the massive breakout. Then okay, let me just grab your, let's have a little yeah. So if you guys can see this, just have this as a, well, this is a trend line, but the market is just like going crazy. So that you enter the market and saw that, wow, this is a trend line. So you guys can see this market is going to go up. Just make breakout at that point. Just broke out of broke structure, but it's still going to be going for a massive uptrend. And sellers are being confused, and you have been sent out that this market, no, is not selling at all. It is what, buying, and then you tripping, buyers just tripping, massive buy, guys. Buy this market. You made your entry at different positions, and you just enter the market for a buy. Oh, very good, very good. That's a good one. Thumbs up for you. Either a profit, CP1 smash, CP2 to smash, break even, due to profits or long position. You made the entry. Let's say you made the entry at this green point that I just marked out, and you take profit one at this red line, moving, moving, move your stop loss this green line below. Hope you guys are not getting confused. So you move your, you have your stop loss down your entry. Let's say this green line, middle guys, hope you guys can see the green line because network not allowing me to like move that line up. So the green line middle, your entry, your red line, and the green line below stop loss. Like I know this is the massive stop loss, but I can't just move. I don't know what's wrong with the line there. I can't just move it. So take profit one smash, break even, or still leave it alone. Stop that. Now, as a week off trader, let's say I was opportuned to be able to see this market at this point. In the left screen, nothing was there, was done. I was just in the market at this point in time. What waiting, I'll be waiting for my last confirmation, which is what we call last point of supply. Hope you guys remember the first point of supply which we had. The last point of supply. This is our last point of supply. This is the first point of supply, and this is the last point of supply. I just wait for my confirmation. I have my confirmation. The candlestick here. You see that green line, that the sword. So you guys can see that at this point. My first confirmation that this market is going down. The candlestick just showing that this market is going down, and I'll wait for that movement. I can see movement. I see the movement here, like a buffer bar is already formed. I'll just make my entry at that point. We still have another point of supply here. Another point of supply here. So if I miss that first point of supply, I can still make another point here. So you guys see this. So I was opportuned to make that entry here. And honestly, I stopped here because which can tend to affect the market. Let's say I miss this first point of supply. I'll still waiting for the other point of supply, which is right here. So I'll just consider a golfing bar, make another entry, and still move it below. So I have 2 points I think I can still sell. First point, first last point of supply, and the other point of supply. So you guys can see this. That is that about distribution. You know, accumulation was moving this way, was moving from a massive sell to buy, while distribution is moving from a massive buy to sell. And that is that about distribution. See you guys in the next video. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, and stay